Welcome along to this week's Ball Sports Bet Zone. It's the end of season, but not in football. It's a big game, and it's back to a traditional time of year. It's the FA Cup final. There's no Big Daddy. There's no giant haystacks. There's no cars on the bus anymore. But one thing I'm delighted to say is coming back to the Bet Zone for this big game, we've got the big guns and the big man himself, former Republic of Ireland and Aston Villa centre forward, Tony Cascarino's in the house. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you.
What, your former club, Aston Villa, you played in the cup final yourself as well, but you were thumped that day. These are underdogs today. Do you think you've got any chance? The Villa boys are upsetting the odds?
Well, I mean, look, they beat Liverpool in the semi-final at Wembley. Liverpool have sort of shown that form at the end of the season, that they maybe weren't as good as what everybody felt Liverpool were at that time. Villa produced a brilliant performance. Delph was fantastic in midfield. Obviously, Benteke scoring goals. I think Villa have to absolutely play their maximum because Arsenal have battered them a couple of times this year, and it's a far bigger arse of beating Arsenal than they did against Liverpool.
Well, let's have a look at the odds. These are Ball Sports odds to lift the FA Cup. Then this brings into 90 minutes, the outright market, penalties, and also extra time. And Arsenal are very short in the betting. They're 1-4 to win this match, to win the FA Cup, Tony. And I know you looked at the price and you thought to yourself, that is short. But obviously, of the two, they're the ones that the bookie's going to have the most liabilities on, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at Forzon and, you know, I think because of the two Arsenal performances in the league this year, it demonstrated how they won and they took Villa apart. And Villa ain't that strong. This game, to me, really is about pace. There's lots of pace on both teams. I think that's going to be the defining factor. But Arsenal have that pace and a bit more guile, a bit more players on the Forzon. I wouldn't want to touch that. And I think there's far better bets out there than Forzon Arsenal, that's for sure.
Well, Forzon Arsenal are bidding to make history. If they win this, they're the most successful team in FA Cup history, and Arsene Wenger will be the most successful manager. But will they do it in 90 minutes? This is probably going to be the most popular bet of the day. Most punters on FA Cup final day will bet on the 90 minutes. But and even that, you're looking at the prices here, 11-20 about an Arsenal victory. This is going to be a real one for the Ball Sports punters, where the big hitters come out and they're going to say Arsenal are going to win in 90 minutes. Let's have a big bet on that. But your fivers, your tenors, your betting shop punters are all going to be getting stuck in the Villa surely at the sixes.
Yeah, I think 6-1, you know, they're two Premier League teams. So anyone at 6-1 price, you sort of feel, well, they've had their day. We've seen other teams do it. You know, we've seen a banana skin from teams in the Championship go and get a result. So I think there's going to be a little bit of, you know, smaller bets, but going for the great value, which is Villa at sixes.
If you look at the FA Cups in the last 10 years, they haven't been very one-sided affair. And only one goal margin has been the difference between the last 10 years. So the gap...
Wigan.
Yeah.
Wigan was the most incredible, because not only did the way they won it, is they actually outplayed City when everybody looked at Man City and felt no chance Wigan. And they went and won the cup. Well,
the underdogs do have their day in the FA Cup finals, and I'm sure you're very popular at 6-1. But avoid a caution, they did meet twice this season. 5-0 and 3-0 were the correct scores. What's the correct score going to be this time around? Will Aston Villa score? And these are the prices on offer with Ball Sports. The favourite is an Arsenal win, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Will the fans be singing that? It's 11-2. You can get that. I fancy goals here, Tony. I like Arsenal to win this, but I think a 3-1 win, 11-1, quite a tasty little price.
You just took the words out of my mouth there, Nigel, because I thought 3-1 was a go. I do think both teams will score, because I do think since Tim's got to Villa Park, he has got much more goals than Paul Lambert got out of his side. I look at Benteke, has been on form. I think up against Mertesacker, he's well liable of just getting that one opportunity. 3-1 to Arsenal win 11s is a big price.
And if you look at goals, 6 of the last 9 Aston Villa games, both teams have scored. 33 goals in those last 9 games. They don't come in greatest form. Lost 6-1 to Southampton and lost 1-0 to Burnley. But they were safe, and one eye was on the FA Cup final here. Who's going to score the first goal? The only man you could be backing if you fancy Villa is Christian Benteke. He's 13-2 to score the first goal. Agbon Lahore is 12-1. Alexis Sanchez is the 7-2 favourite with Giroud. But will Giroud play? I mean, Walcott come in last week, scored a hat-trick. A big selection headache for Arsene Wenger ahead of this game.
Well, he has, but I truly believe that Arsenal will play Giroud. He stayed with him all season. He's really felt that he's that springboard for their attacks. And I do feel that he selected Theo last week knowing he was going to play Giroud this week. And I think it's a mad decision, but I really think that it will be Giroud first.
Last week, Walcott was absolutely on fire. He scored 3, should have scored 5. And Wilshere was just unbelievable. Do you think Jack Wilshere will play?
Again, I was surprised he played last week. And I just know, I mean, look, managers do it often. When they get the cup final, they get that team's in them the week before. And I think Wilshere might find himself in the same place as Theo and be on the bench.
Just shows you what talent that Arsenal have at disposal. If you look at her first goal scorer, Mesut Ozil hasn't really done it for Arsenal since he's gone there, so jury's still out whether he's been a success or not. But he has scored in both games this season against Aston Villa, and Ozil around about 15-2 could score the first goal, and 11-5 to score any time could be popular. Remember, the Ball Sports have an offer on this one. It's money back as a free bet if Theo Walcott scores the last goal. Now that applies to check the website for all the terms and conditions on that. But if Theo Walcott scores the last goal, not the first goal, money back as a free bet if Theo Walcott scores the last goal on all main markets on the FA Cup final. That's the offer from the boys and girls at Ball Sports. One thing I always like betting on the cup final is the man of the match. I like the market. I think it's a great market. I also think that certain commentators always pick the same players week in, week out. And if Arsenal win this game, I think Alexis Sanchez wins it. And I think if Aston Villa win it, Benteke is the man of the match. And I think Alexis Sanchez here, 11-2 to cap a fantastic season, is one of our best bets of the cup final.
Well, he's the one shining light for Arsenal, definitely. Over the course of the season, I think he's had the odd poor game, but he's been man of the match for them numerous times. And I suspect he would be for them. But one player as I sort of come in the fold from a Villa perspective, Jack Grealish has been brilliant. The last 4 or 5 games for Villa, he's absolutely, and I thought he was brilliant in the semi-final against Liverpool. If I was going to go for a Villa, I know a lot of people go Delph and Benteke. I just think if Jack Grealish has some sort of game for Villa, he could quite easily take the mantle of getting the man of the match. Jack
Grealish absolutely superb, and obviously, you know, with the Irish people watching here for Boyle Sports, you know, he's got a decision to make now, hasn't he? Well, it's a tough decision for him, isn't it? Will he play for Ireland? Will he play for England? But, you know, where do you think he will probably go?
I think he's already made his decision because the Scotland game is looming. I think if you ever wanted a reason to come and play for Ireland, it would be for the Scotland game, and he's decided to wait. So I think he's going to choose England.
Sorry to say it, breaking bad news to say that, and this is coming from a former Republic of Ireland international there, but Jack Grealish, it looks as though he may be choosing England. I think it's a bad choice personally because he's going to struggle to get in the team, I think, eventually. But anyway.
We need him more.
Yeah, we definitely, absolutely, definitely. Let's have a look at some other markets. Both teams to score. We've said we think there's goals in this game, despite 2 wins to 0 for Arsenal. It's 20-21, yes. 5-6, no. Pretty much you pay your money, you take your choice with Boyle Sports. What will your choice be?
Well, both teams to score. I think it's a great bet. I really feel that Villa can get that 1 goal. Arsenal not scoring, I can't see it. Arsenal will break Villa down. They have so much pace, and like I go back to before, too many players technically superb. They will definitely score. I think when you're looking at both teams to score, you're really looking, are Villa going to score? Because I'm pretty certain that Arsenal will.
Well, many said that against Swansea. Many said that against Sunderland recently. They've struggled to score goals recently, Arsenal. They went this unbelievable run of scoring goals. I think they've only scored 4 in 4 of the last 8 games. But it's kind of the season. This is all about this game. And last season in the game against Hull, who would have thought that? What a classic we had there. So another one to be. Perhaps for the more adventurous, both teams to score and the team to win. So if you fancy Arsenal and both teams to score, you can get 12-5 for your money. If you fancy Aston Villa and them to win and both teams score, 11-1. I quite like. I'm quite tempted by the Arsenal to win and both teams to score here at 12-5. I think this will be a classic game.
Yeah, it will be. I think because of the style of the 2 teams. Tim's been brave as a manager, hasn't he? He's come to Villa Park. He had a team that couldn't score goals. Paul Lambert's side looked like a 0-0 team every week to me when I was watching them. It weren't the case once Tim got involved. He's made them play a much different and adventurous style and a braver style that you do know that they're going to be capable of getting goals.
And 6 of the last 9 Aston Villa games both teams have scored under Arsenal supporter Tim Sherwood. Let's have a look at some other markets we've got here. To win to 0, we've pretty much ruled that out, haven't we? We've said there's going to be goals. So despite Arsenal winning 8-0 in aggregate this season, we don't fancy that. To score in both halves. I know you're quite keen on this one. You've seen something on the Ball Sports website you quite liked.
Yeah, I just thought that, you know, to score in both halves, I just think there'll be goals in the game. And I can't see Arsenal getting at least a couple. With that, Villa are going to have to be brave. An even braver team than they've been already, because I like the way... I saw the game against QPR 3-3 at Villa Park, and I've got to say, Villa could have won 6, 7. They had looked so devastating when they broke forward. And if there's anything that's weak at the Arsenal line, you look at their back 4, well, Spain has done all right, but he hasn't been tested as much as what other teams
Shocking.
Well, I think he's done okay. I think there's.
I could do all right for Arsenal. That's how they just.
Yeah, well, I think you're being a bit harsh there, Nigel. I look at
the goal against Swansea was his fault, and he made a howler against West Brom where he's let it through his hands. Peter Cech, I'm certain, will be at the Emirates this season. I think he's the weak link.
You're going for the wrong one. Schmeichel's the one. Leicester. Get him to Arsenal. He's the one.
I think he's the weak link, and I think there's going to be goals as well. I can't agree. Final mark we look at is method of victory. Will Arsenal win it in normal time? Will it go to extra time? Will it go to the dreaded penalties? You can bet on any permutation you want. The favourite is Arsenal to win in normal time at 11 to 20, which is probably going to be a popular one. If you fancy going to penalties, 14 to 1 Arsenal and 14 to 1 Aston Villa. So when he gets the penalties, it's 5 to 6 each to 2. Tony, what's your best bet of the cup final this weekend?
I like 3-1 Aston Villa. I think that's 11 to 1. Great price. Like I said, I think there'll be goals. I just think it'll be a really good cup final. I think we'll remember this one for a long time.
Let's hope so. I'm sure we all remember this Ball Sports Betzone for a very long time. But I'm going to go for both teams to score, yes, and Arsenal to win it. I think that's my best bet in the cup final at 5 to 2. And my second best bet would be Alexis Sanchez to be the man of the match. Because one thing he will put in a shift. He won't be poor. All the other players, they can be in and out, but he will be consistent. And if they win it, I think they'll cap a fantastic season with the man of the match at 11 to 2.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I couldn't think of another Arsenal player that's had as good a season as him. I think it's him. Sometimes Cazorla can chip in and have that great performance. See him do it at Man City away. But I think Sanchez is the standout for Arsenal.
Tony, it's been a pleasure always. Thank you very much. Enjoy the cup final. Good luck to anyone placing any bets this weekend. We're all off to watch 101 great howlers from David Ospina. See you next week.